Welcome to the Chamber Vibes podcast with your host, Brittany Timmons, the Greater Guthrie Chamber of Commerce CEO and President. In this podcast, you will hear from local guests who will discuss topics such as leadership, small business, and our vibrant community. You'll also hear success stories and tips from amazing local businesses, dive into important news, meet community leaders, and find out how you can get involved in our community. From the Second Banana Media Studios in beautiful and historic downtown Guthrie, America, here is Brittany Timmons.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back for another episode of Chamber Vibes. So excited to be hanging out with a furry friend. I don't know. Are they considered furry? No. Feathery friend. There we go. Yes. So I am in studio today with my friend and chamber investor, Keri Garrison. Not very many people in town probably know your last name.
It's known as AFLAC.
Right, Keri AFLAC. And so basically that started whenever you first started coming to chamber events. It just turned into, oh, that's Keri AFLAC.
You or Phil introduced me, and you meant to say Keri Garrison, and it ended up being
I remember that.
Keri AFLAC, so I've been Keri AFLAC ever since.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry, I guess, because it's fun.
Yes, I've just rolled with it.
Yes, and so Keri is the only AFLAC agent that we have with the Guthrie Chamber, so that definitely kind of makes her even more unique as far as the products and the services that she offers. And so today I just want to, I get to see you a lot. I consider you a very good friend, and so I've gotten to know you, but, I want this to be information and for people to learn who you are and also more about AFLAC. So let's just dive right in. I mean, how did you even get into doing this?
Well, I originally started working at Walmart way back in the day, like right after high school. It was supposed to be a college job. It ended up being a few years longer. I worked for Walmart for about 26 years. And
wow, that's a long time. I don't think I knew that.
Yes.
Okay, wow.
And there's a tornado shelter company up in Perry. The owner and I went to high school together, so he stole me away from Walmart. Thank God.
Hey, nothing against our friends here. We love the Guthrie Walmart.
Thankful for Walmart, but I'm even more thankful that I'm not there. And was there for about a year. COVID hit, and so not everybody was in the market for shelter or could afford a shelter at the time because they are a tad on the pricier side. It's about like buying a car. You got to plan for buying one of them.
A tornado shelter?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And if you need to know about that, I can tell you about that too.
She wears many hats. She doesn't currently sell them, as far as I know.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
I can tell you about those.
Okay.
But COVID hit, and so he's going, Sister, I'm afraid that we don't have enough business to justify all the employees, and so I was going, okay, what do I do now? And
right, in a pandemic,
yes.
that's the time I started running the chamber, and
right.
I don't recommend making a career change in a pandemic.
Correct. I feel you there. And then I got on one of the job search companies, and at one time Walmart did have AFLAC, so I was familiar with them and applied for that. And
at least what AFLAC is, right?
Yes.
Which we can talk about in a little bit.
Yes.
Okay.
And I was familiar with some of their policies, not all of them, but I applied with them, interviewed, ended up getting the position, obviously, and have been with them ever since. I've been with them for about 5 years now, and so it's... Yeah.
So you just kind of dove right in, though?
Yes, I dove right in, both feet, and...
was that scary just because you don't really know? You have to get clients.
Yes.
It's not like you're just handed a book of business, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Going from a guaranteed weekly or biweekly income to being fully 1099 to where you have to go out and
really market
yourself, and not only the product but yourself, because with AFLAC, especially the smaller client businesses, they deal directly with me, and I service that account and all that. And so you have to market yourself and being an
So it was a risk for you at
yes.
this point in your career and in 2020.
Yes.
Okay.
So kind of a double whammy right there.
Yeah. So what did you do right off the bat? I mean, obviously, I remember you joined our chamber. You've been with our chamber 3 or 4 years now.
I think 4.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've been there not shortly after I was there, you know, it took over, but.
I knew I needed, being an introvert like myself, I knew I needed something that would help me get that warm introduction to people. And I was going, well, I might as well join the Guthrie Chamber. And I live halfway between here and Stillwater, so I was going, I'll join the Stillwater Chamber, and that way it helps warm that up. And the way that I was trained, there are other accounts that, for whatever reason, the AFLAC associate has left AFLAC, whether it's they got in it and decided they didn't want to be an insurance agent anymore, or they've retired or whatever. But that business still has the AFLAC, so somebody has to go in and service that account. So I inherited, so to speak, some accounts.
From our area.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of them being the Guthrie Public Schools. I'm their AFLAC person.
Yay,
and so,
that's exciting.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've definitely gotten to know Dr. Simpson and Dr. Chappell and Mrs. Walters.
Yes.
So they're all just absolutely wonderful people up there.
Well, I love that. So, okay, so that's how you got in. So you just kind of went, beak first.
Yes, beak first.
I cracked myself up. I mean, it was appropriate. There's a beak right over my head and on your shirt.
Yes. This is not
Anyway.
AFLAC official, but...
Oh, it's cute, though. Yes. I thought it was.
No, it's not AFLAC official, but...
I like it. Okay, so obviously, AFLAC is, is it worldwide?
Yes.
Worldwide. Okay, I was going to say nationwide, and then I thought, wait, but it's worldwide. So we, people see the branding, and they know the duck, and they know the AFLAC. I can't do it very good. Chris does it really well, but the AFLAC, yes. Sound and all of that. But let's talk about what is that? Because, people may know the name, but not really understand what it even is.
With AFLAC, it is a supplemental insurance company, which means that it differs from Major Medical, where Major Medical pays directly to the hospital, the medical facility that you go to. AFLAC will pay you directly, and you get to choose what you do with that money, whether you want to pay, if you have any medical bills that you want to pay, if you want to pay rent, mortgage, utilities, car payment, if you want to stick it in a savings account and go on vacation later, you can do that.
Wow.
And depending on how it's set up, it can be set up pre-tax to like your 401k or something like that, or if we can work with 1099 or contract employees. If it's pre-tax, then you don't have to pay any taxes on it, but post-tax, there is definitely a possibility of paying taxes on what benefit amounts you get.
Yeah.
But we do have several policies. The first policy that AFLAC came up with was the cancer policy.
Okay.
And I know cancer is more prevalent these days, and it really is our I feel like our best policy. It pays from initial diagnosis all the way through the final treatment, and there is a wellness benefit in it. So for like us ladies, it would be a mammogram, pap smear. For men, PSA test for prostate cancer. There are other wellnesses there, but that is, you get paid $90 once per year per covered family member. So if there's you, spouse, and 3 kids, there would be 5 wellnesses in it. And there is so
that's a little bit money back because you're paying in for the policy.
Yes, and so it basically pays you to go get a wellness for a preventative. If they catch it early enough, it can, they can treat it really a lot easier than like stage 4. So
so the cancer policy was the first one AFLAC ever came up or what am I trying to say? Introduced. Yes. So how long has AFLAC been around?
You had to ask.
That's okay. I told you there would be some on-the-spot question because this stuff pops in my head, Keri.
Like 1950 or 60, I think.
Okay, so quite a while.
Yeah, quite a while.
Yeah, and so as far, you have the cancer policy, and then what other, So it's just supplemental insurance? Is
Yes.
that the right word for it?
Yes. Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, it is a supplemental company. We have, as far as the policies go for supplemental, it's accident, cancer. The accident policy covers 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, on or off the job. That one also has a wellness in it, but that one is one per year, regardless of how many people are covered, and covers burns, breaks, sprains, fractures, and accident causing you to seek medical treatment. And it does have a kind of like a built-in life insurance. So if you're on a plane, train, something that you have to pay a fee or fare for other than a ride share like Uber, and happen to pass away from an accident on one of those, beneficiary will receive a certain dollar amount, and depending on which level, around $150,000 to your beneficiary, and that pays in addition to and on top of whatever life insurance you do have.
Okay, wow.
And then the like personal vehicle, company vehicle, that is a lower dollar amount but it still is substantial. It's around like $50,000 on that one. But that one is a good policy for, especially for people that are more active, like in construction and stuff like that, or the guys out at Lazy, like the foreman and all that. So
so if someone, so if they have AFLAC, like say the accidental policy, right?
Yes.
And they get hurt and then they can't work for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, what can AFLAC do there?
If they have our short-term disability policy, it can help bring in up to 60% of their income for
So say they got hurt and it's not workers' comp related though. Will AFLAC still kick in to help?
Workman's comp will override short-term disability every time just because of the law. But if it's not workman's comp, it can pay up to 3 months being off 3 months at a time, or up to 6 months at a time. We do have longer amounts, but those are not guaranteed issue. But if the doctor said that they have to be off for 12 weeks, AFLAC will give them a lump sum check from the start to the end time that the doctor's note it said.
Okay, so that can be huge.
Yes, and it'll pay up to 60% of their income.
Wow. Okay. So can anybody get AFLAC? Can any person get AFLAC? Does it have to be offered through an employer? How does that work?
We try to bring it in through an employer because the premiums are up to 50% off through the employer.
Okay.
But you can get it directly, and so if, let's say you wanted it, you could come to me and say, hey, Keri, I'd like the accident policy. And
you can sell one to an individual.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can chat and see what policies work best for you, depending on if it's through the employer or through direct. There are a couple policies that we don't sell direct to a person, but only through an account site. Okay.
Awesome. So you do both?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then if you are offering it through an employer, what are those, how many employees, how?
It takes 3 employees, 1 policy each. It doesn't have to be the same policy or the same coverage type. So if, let's say we brought it in through the chamber, I'm just going to use the chamber as an example.
That's fine.
You could get, let's say, the 2-parent family coverage on the cancer. Heidi could get the accidental policy, and then Missy could get like the critical illness policy, and Heidi could get employee spouse. You could get 2-parent family coverage, and then
so everyone can kind of customize their
own. And they can even customize which coverage type that they want per policy.
Okay.
And so they don't have to do 2-parent family coverage on everything. They can do, I just want the accident policy on me. I want to do 2-parent family coverage on this one.
Right. So it's a better rate if you go through the business.
Yes.
And then oftentimes you see that employers pay a percentage of the premiums like they do for health insurance, or?
It kind of depends. Like some more of the ones that are like the construction companies, they'll say, I want to do individual coverage on the accident policy since my guys are out and active. Mm-hmm. If the employees want to cover them and their spouse, then they pay the difference on the individual. And so I can kind of tailor what comes out of the employee's paycheck and send that to whoever is doing the deductions for the employees.
Okay. Okay, cool. I wasn't sure how that worked.
Yes.
So, yeah, that makes sense. So we kind of talked about earlier, do you have, a client story? Obviously, I know you can't give, like, names, details, all those kind of things, but you've been doing this now 5 years.
Yes.
And so does a certain client story kind of come to mind of somebody that you've been able to work with and help because they had an AFLAC policy?
Yes, there's one specifically. It was an account that I inherited, and it's a electrical company, and I, like a couple months before that, I'd been there to do their open enrollment, because you do an open enrollment every year, and I usually set up the open enrollment with the lady that is in the office, and anyway, the owner had called me and said, "Hey, Keri, are you still our AFLAC person?" I said, "Yes, sir, I am," and I could tell that something was wrong.
Right.
And the owner said, "Well, this employee came and worked, and afterwards was in an automobile wreck and ended up passing away." And the owner, or the, sorry, I just
That's okay.
slipped my mind. Anyway, the employee passed away from it. The person that sets up all that works there, that I deal with most of the time, that was the employee's mom. So she couldn't, understandably, call or anything. And I said, "Let me find out what you need, and I will," because the employee had the accident policy. Okay. And anyway, I got the information, called the owner back and said, "Hey, I found out," and he was driving. So I said, "Do you want me to email it to you? Would you please?" And so I helped facilitate that claim, and the employee had life insurance already, so the life insurance, that little built-in life insurance on the accident paid in addition to the life insurance that the employee already had, and they were just extremely grateful. And then afterwards, I'd taken the mom, I made her one of my chunky blankets, and made her
we're going to get into all the little things that you make, ma'am.
I made her a little care package just to make her feel loved, and let her know that that everybody was wanting to take care of her, and she was really,
because you get to know your clients.
Yes.
I mean, you see them every year at open enrollment.
Yes.
Because you connect with everybody at that time, right? Yeah, and so...
And then I try to touch base with them like at least once a quarter. And so that way my face is still in front of them, and it reminds them, "Oh, yeah, I've got AFLAC. I need to file that claim or that wellness or whatever," and we can file throughout the year and all that.
Awesome. Wow. I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, you're helping people in, tragic and rough times, but that's why you probably are passionate about what you do.
Yes, and AFLAC is a gap filler, so that it helps keep money coming in times that you need it.
Right.
And especially, like, there's another client that I inherited, and the person had was ongoing cancer claim, and I'm here for you whenever you want me to help you file a claim. And that person has had over, I think, $10,000 or $12,000 in cancer claims paid directly to that one. And
which is something, it's just like other insurance too. You don't want to have to use it, but there is going to come a point where we're all going to have to use at some point, whether it's a claim on your house or car from an automobile accident or AFLAC. I know that my dad actually, my dad was diagnosed with leukemia at 59 years old, healthy guy, and never imagined that. I don't know. I always thought, which is silly because, you have kids, who battle cancer. But in my mind, I think it's just human nature. I'm thinking, oh, my dad's 59. Like, he's not old. We'll be dealing with that stuff when they're in their 70s, or whatever. Yeah. And, all of a sudden my dad is super sick, and my dad, this is total blessing. I want to say it was a year, maybe a year, maybe 2, but not long before his diagnosis, he had picked up a AFLAC cancer policy. And he did it because he had, I think, a friend or somebody close to him that, unexpectedly, of course, it's always expected, get diagnosed and had the policy. And so my dad I remember said multiple times, I'm just so glad I did that. Yes. Because I never imagined I would have to use it, and then 59 years old, he did, have to use it. And so anyway, and my dad's cancer-free and doing wonderful now, but it kicked in at a really hard time for my parents that just kind of threw them for a loop, which life does.
Yes. And that's one good thing about AFLAC is we can let you focus in on recovery and getting the medical treatments that you need to, and then we can get that money to you and refile.
Hopefully help ease some of the hardship.
Some of the financial burden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool. Very cool. And so on top of obviously being passionate about your work and what you do, you also have all these crazy other talents. I guess they're not crazy, but you love to make spicy pretzels. So we got to talk about
or spicy crack
or spicy crack, but legal.
Yes.
Crack. Okay. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Random man behind the curtain over here. Okay. Yes. So tell me about how all of this came to be. So obviously now it's branded. It's something that you enjoy doing for your clients. We'll talk about what you help with the chamber. But how in the world did you get into doing this?
Well, the spicy pretzels came about. My sister, my oldest nephew, he likes them. My sister found the recipe. I'm not sure exactly where she found it, and so I just kind of permanently borrowed that recipe.
Not paying any royalties or anything on the recipe?
I didn't steal it. I permanently borrowed. And then found the recipe for the caramel puffs for online. They're kind of like Bucky nuggets.
Yes.
And so
beaver nuggets or whatever those things that people obsess over. Yes. Okay. So you started making them, but then what? Like, how did you end up doing it like this?
Well, it kind of morphed into... I found the packages on Amazon. I think that would be better and more economical. And so I had found some packaging at Hobby Lobby, and they were good packaging, but I just felt like I needed something a little bit more professional. Mm-hmm. And so I found these packaging on Amazon. So
you just started, so you got the recipe and then you made it and knew they were good, but then did you start giving them away or
I try to have something in my open enrollments for people to grab and kind of like draw attention to me and come to me, and this way I go, you get this level of customer service from me. So, and even if you don't get a policy,
still get a gift.
Yes.
Yeah. So weren't you also though doing like trade shows and pop-ups events and stuff with like your other, what's your little side hustle name?
Okie Magnolia.
That's right. Okie Magnolia. That's right.
Born and raised in Oklahoma, and I like magnolia flowers, so kind of
I love it.
Joined the two together.
So you were doing that with the pretzels too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and selling them at things.
Yes. Yeah. I don't do a whole lot of those because husband keeps me busy. I'm also his IT, his secretary.
House cleaner, laundry, because he travels.
Yes. He came in last night, so I had to take care of laundry for him last night. And
So, so you branded them, and now you love just giving them away.
Yes.
Yeah, and I can tell you, I love them, but Aubrey Timmons, my youngest daughter, if there are Keri AFLAC pretzels, that's the other name for them, Keri AFLAC pretzels, sitting around anywhere, the chamber, my car, the house, they are gone in no time. And so I'm impressed that even there's some sitting here in the studio. And so anyway, I just think this is such a special thing. Like we joke and act silly, but like, Keri, this just shows your heart. Like you love giving. And I know you're a wonderful, amazing chamber ambassador. And so for our chamber ambushes, which is where we go and we ambush businesses and tell them we love them, appreciate them, Keri has made pretzels for us to give away. And then recently the caramel corn puffs. Doesn't Heidi love these?
I think
in the
so.
office, yeah, she loves these
and
too.
I do the gluten-free because I know Heidi, for one, is gluten-free, so.
Yes, gluten-free pretzels. I think that's what this one is.
She was my test subject for the gluten-free ones.
Spicier. I have to stay away from these. It's these I can have. I cannot do these. I don't think. I'm a wimp. So anyway, yes. Well, I just love it. It's got your little AFLAC logo on there. And you also partner. Can we talk about your partnership with another chamber investor, Black Oak Alliance?
Yes, I am Black Oak Alliance's AFLAC specialist. So for those businesses that don't have a current benefit package, we can at least start with AFLAC because AFLAC doesn't have to cost the business anything. And then we can implement major medical when the time is right for the business, or we can do it both at the same time. So.
Yeah, and Black Oak Alliance, if you don't know, we'll give them a little bit of a plug. Phil and Dave, they also have another business as well, but they started Black Oak Alliance to help their clients with insurance needs, yes. And so they brought on Keri as part of an extension of them offering AFLAC. Yes. So did I do that right?
I think so.
Phil will tell me later
yes.
if I didn't. Okay. Yes, so anyway, so I love that partnership formed because of the chamber and the relationships that have been built there.
Can't say enough good things about those two. They're really great guys.
Yes, they are. Absolutely. So anyway, if you're looking for all of those things, you own a small business and you're thinking, I would like to offer some of these benefits to my employees, you can give Black Oak a call and start there. I can give Keri a call directly. We're just doing AFLAC, or you can call Phil and get it all worked out, right? With all of you all.
Or me or Phil, and that way we can go from there. And like with the AFLAC, it doesn't, like I stated earlier, it doesn't have to cost the business anything because
you can just pass it through to the employee.
Yes, it'll start, let's say I go in and talk with the business, and the policies will start July 1. The deductions will be taken out of the employee's paycheck, and then you will get an invoice for those deductions that you took out of the employee's paycheck, and that basically the invoice is delayed a month, and so the business doesn't have to.
But by the businesses offering it, though, the employees can have that discounted rate.
Yes.
And if just Brittany Timmons goes to you directly and buys a policy.
Correct.
So they're still helping their employees out by being able to get that discounted premium rate through the employer.
Yes, and if the employee parts ways with the business, I tell them whether it's voluntarily or voluntold, doesn't matter. The employee can call me up and say, hey, I'm no longer with said company. I want to keep my cancer accident policy, whatever policy that they have, and it'll go from a payroll deduction to a bank draft of their choosing.
Okay, so then they don't have to have a gap in coverage even if they are not with that employee
Correct.
anymore.
And the premiums, there's no increase in premium, no decrease in benefits. And so it'll just go from, like if they have a weekly or biweekly deduction, it'll go from that type of deduction to a monthly deduction. So.
Cool. Good stuff. So if you have questions, what's the best way for everyone to get a hold of you?
You can call me at 580-363-6604 or
call the chamber.
Or call the chamber. And my email is Keri, Keri_Garrison @us.aflac.com.
Yes. And if that's way too much to remember and you didn't write that down, give us a call at the chamber because we can get you in touch with her. Plus, you will see Keri at, 99% of our chamber events. She definitely makes sure that she is at as much as she can be. And she's doing the same thing in the Stillwater area as well. You were named the Ambassador of the Year for the Stillwater Chamber, which is awesome.
Yes.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you. We definitely wasn't expecting that.
Yes. Awesome. Well, your hard work does not go unnoticed, and we know at the chamber who to call. I mean, I literally had a moment where we were going to be out, and I needed the chamber phone, the chamber office call covered, and I said, Keri, can you come? Because she likes to work remote at the office, and so you're just so reliable. And yeah, if you have not gotten to know Keri, I highly recommend, just not as only your AFLAC agent, but a friend as well. She's a rock solid gal, and I'm happy to have you as a friend and part of the chamber. And I just appreciate all the support that you've given. You can definitely tell how much that you've dove in and love Guthrie, you know, and you like me. I mean, I live a little outside of town. You're a little outside of town, but this is home to you.
Yes.
You know?
And I can service any account in Oklahoma. And
Okay.
if you have locations outside of Oklahoma, it's just a matter of paying the appropriate insurance company to license the insurance agents.
Okay.
And I can get that out of state license, and we can.
Okay, cool. So you don't have to be in Logan County
Right.
to call Keri.
Or
Even though
even
she's
Oklahoma.
ours,
Yeah.
but she will drive and go
Yes.
see other clients. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Matter of
and Payne
fact-
County too. I
Yes.
know.
Matter of fact, I'm going to Southwest Oklahoma tomorrow morning.
Oh, there we go.
Yay.
Yes, I know. Well, safe travels for that. So, is there anything else you want to add? Cover it all. I might think of things later. That always happens.
Right.
Yes.
I can't think of anything right now, but just call me and we can chat and see if it's a good fit for you. And like I said, AFLAC doesn't have to cost you, the business, anything unless you want to pay for an individual coverage for accident policy or whatever, but we can make that decision whenever we chat.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you, friend.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for hanging out. We're going to make sure the snacks, yeah, Phil and Dave and Chris might lose their snacks here. Anyway, thank you again for all you do. Thanks for loving Guthrie, the chamber, supporting me personally, you know, all of the things. We appreciate you very much. So there you have it. Keri AFLAC is available to help you with any of those needs, so give her a call. So, all right, that's it. We'll see you next time for another episode of Chamber Vibes.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Chamber Vibes podcast from Second Banana Media Studios in beautiful downtown Guthrie, America. Be sure and check out a new episode every other Monday. And until then, remember to choose Guthrie.